Alright, it's the last video I'll do tonight. Problems I read about all the time. My arms are flopping all over the place. Got a bunch of slack in them. Where can I buy new parts from? Well, these things were designed by H from the factory to be tightened and to take the slop out as it wears. I'm going to stress this enough. If you have not putting grease pins on your wear points, I ain't drilled this one yet. Got one on the other side. I'll show you that one. We'll get around there. Right here. I had this alligator mouth. Kind of like a just bolt here. This one has hardly no play in it. I mean, it barely moves. It barely moves. This is made to be tightened like this to take up your slack. Now, I think what people are, they're putting a wrench on this and it's not, they can't turn it. Oh, it's tight. No, more than likely it is not tight. Just your bolt is rusted. Best thing you do is take your bolt off first. I put a washer under mine on both sides because this was the cultivator, the side dresser side, and all this is so rusted, and I can feel the rust on the bolt on here. So I put a washer on mine to get off the rusted threads a little bit because I could not get this bolt to come out, and I didn't want to go through all that heating and the beating and banging and the clanging and trying to change them two little bolts. So I just put a washer on them. But I tighten them down, and when I mean tighten them down, don't 11/16 wrench. I don't think you can wring these off with this little wrench unless you put something on them. Because I'm almost 300 pounds and I put all my weight on it. And like I said, it ain't wrung off. On both of these. You just keep tightening them till you have till your slack comes out. And I'm barely. I don't know if you can see it in the video. I just got just a little, very little bit. You gotta have that little bit of play in it. You can't lock it in. If you lock it down, it ain't gonna move. Your wear points, you need grease pins on them. I did a separate video on that. On this one's just a little slightly different beast. This one is the same concept. All right. But to tighten this one up, all right, let me give you the side angle where you kind of see my perspective here. You got to loosen these two up at the top. You got to loosen them up and leave them loose. If you look at it closely, you can see where it pinched this down and kicked the top out. All right. Tighten the bottom down till you have no slack. I have just a slightly little bit, just a smidge in it. I can probably tighten it some more. Leave these loose and tighten these down. You're not going to wring them either. Those are a 13/16. Put a wrench on it. Loosen the top ones. Put a wrench on them and tighten them till you don't have no more slack. Put your grease pins on them. You need them. Now I'm going to show you one I have not done yet. And this side was the exact same way. This is the side I have not. You can see the paint still on them bolts. I have not. Look at my slap. I mean, that's where that side was. That side was the same way. I mean, terrible. This side here was the exact same way. All right. These don't. It's a little bit there. Not much. Most of it's coming from up there. But that side over there was the same exact way as this. You can just flop it all over the place. You cannot get this to tighten up. Your bolt is messed up. You need to put your new bolt in there, or just put washers under it to get to stay up on the good thread. My little dog is so funny. She would not lay on nothing that ain't got my scent on it. So she's laying on my hat. She won't lay on nothing unless my scent is on it. Just sniffing the brim. She's a very funny dog. She like lays in my chair while I'm not home and does not move. The chair I sit in. She is very funny. Anyway, enough about the dog. This is a side I have not done. You see how sloppy these are. Don't be scared to tighten them. Tighten them down. That won't take your slop out, you need a new bolt, or you need a washer on it, or two, to stay up on the good threads if you got to. Same way with this. Loosen the top bolts here. Loosen your top ones so you give room for that piece of metal to expand out. And tighten the bottom ones down, and keep tightening on them bottom ones. You're not gonna wring them off. Keep tightening on them bottom ones until your slack is gone. Then just snug the top ones. No, you don't get crazy with the top ones. Just snug them down. And you see the difference from that side. I mean, it's hardly nothing. It barely moves. Just barely moves. Barely. But that's all you got to do. I have shimmed them. I have shimmed them with tin can. You can do that, but that was before I really thought about it and figured it out. How International Harvester designed these to take slop out. You can take the slop out. There's a certain way you got to do it, especially with that clamp. Loosen the top, tighten the bottom down tight. Don't be scared of wringing the bolt off. Pull down on it. Keep pulling on it until you done took the slack out. Get your grease fittings on there. Your grease fittings on it, you won't have to adjust them. Worry about slop later on too much. But that's tighten them bolts down. Keep tightening on them. If you got to put something on them, you're not strong enough. I'm almost 300 pounds. I'm a big guy. Maybe stronger than a smaller guy. Put something on them, you can't keep tightening it. You're not going to wring them off. Like I said, I put all my weight on it and then wring them off. Think you're going to wring them off, but they ain't wring off. If you need to replace them, put your grade 8 bolt in it so you really get down on it. Well, that's how you take slop out of it. See the side here. What we got going on here. You see this side here. Nothing, hardly. Just a little bit. Just very little bit. Anyway, that's all you got to do. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff.